Alright. Unmuting. Let's go ahead and transition. Boop. And one more thing. Just need... There it is. Alright. So, last we left off, everything was going to hell in a handbasket in Fairy Britain, and then we went into a spiritual cavern where we understood the true meaning of Kernonos' revival. So hopefully, Merlin gets to show us a way to stop it. So this is Avalon, the planet's inner sea. This is where proper human history's King Arthur is said to have gone after he died. It's the biggest flower garden I've ever seen. Right? There's no such thing as evil in paradise. It's a separate world that neither influences nor is influenced by the surface. No matter how apocalyptic things may be up there. All there is hope. This place is a workshop that weaves together all possibilities to lead this planet, and you guys, to a happy ending. That being said, these are still only the remnants of Avalon, a shadow being projected into the British Lost Belt. The tower imprisoning me isn't here. There isn't much mana in the air, and there's no lake where fairies gather. The only thing here is the site of selection. The forge where the 6 fairies were supposed to create the sacred sword. The site of selection. Is that anything like the stone that contained the sword of selection in the legend of King Arthur? The one that Arthur found when he was still a squire, being raised as Sir Ector's adopted child? The one he pulled the sword of selection from to demonstrate that he was destined to be king? That's right. It basically signifies the same thing. And my job is to guide you all there. There. See the altar up on top of that hill? That's your destination. It's only a stone's throw away, but you will need to pass through a few checkpoints of sorts to reach it. Think of them as Avalon's defense mechanism. One final test to make sure everything's in order. Everything the Fairy of Paradise has done to date will appear there as obstacles to be overcome. As in from the day she was born up until now? That's right. You'll be going over a scrapbook of her life, so to speak, and making sure there are no loose ends. It'll be a little journey in its own right. One that starts with a cold, unforgiving winter, and ends with a warm, fun spring. Based on how things have gone before, it's safe to say the first obstacle will be the hardest, for many reasons. Silver Shinobi, your job is to remove those obstacles and help the Fairy of Paradise advance. Don't worry, you'll be going from hardship to good times, so it'll only get easier the closer you get. And just so we're all clear, let me repeat. The Fairy of Paradise's duty is to create the sacred sword. By doing so, the British Lost Belt will lose its divergence point, and human history will be stabilized once again. Without its Tree of Emptiness, the British Lost Belt will simply fade away like all the others. And most importantly, the sacred sword's creation will lead directly into the protection of human history. Were this Britain to mix with proper human history, the result would be a world that had never had the sacred sword. That would close off the route you have to take to defeat the foreign god. Then again, the foreign god can't stop the collapse either, so you'd both be screwed there. Anyway, I think that's everything you need to know. Any questions? So, making the sacred sword is Artoria's duty. Come on, Silver Shinobi, why so glum? It's okay, there's nothing to worry about. I'm still the child of prophecy, remember? This is the moment I've been working toward all this time. I rang the bells so I could come here. Besides, I've known this was my duty since I rang the 4th bell in Orkney. I'd planned to come here alone once Noctnaria was coronated. So don't worry about anything else, okay? Besides, Chaldea needs one of those divine construct things too, right? Then we better hurry. I'm going to protect the Britain I grew up in. And you guys are going to take back the world you grew up in. We need to do this to make both of those things happen. And now it's time to get to it. That's all. This will be the end of our journey. I'm lucky my pilgrimage has been so much fun. Now come on, Silver Shinobi. Let's head to the site of selection. Besides, it's not every day you get to go to Avalon, so let's make the most of it. Just watch my back until it's over, okay? Alright. Man, this sure is a huge flower garden. Couldn't be more different from Britain burning to the ground. So the fact that it's called Land of the Young must mean there's plenty of food to go around. And people have all the time they could want, right? Yeah, it makes sense there's no war or animosity here. Not much reason to do anything bad if you don't gotta take anything from anyone to have what you need. That's true. When you have everything you need, there's no void for you to fill. That's another way this place is very different from the British Lost Belt, which literally had to be built by filling in the sea with the bodies of dead fairies. Speaking of which, it seems like a good time to tell you about what's going on above ground. The prophecy may have said there were 2 calamities, a red one and a black one. Actually, though, there's no limit to the number of calamities. Remember that. New calamities will continue to appear as long as their source remains. The calamities will never go away until Kernonos, the being continually punishing the fairies for their sins, is truly vanquished. Furthermore, thanks to Morgan's hard work, fairies born in the Land of the Fae can migrate to proper human history. That means the calamities won't be contained to Britain. They'll spread into and then all across the bleached world until nothing remains of proper human history. It would basically be a smaller scale version of the King of Mages' incineration of humanity. So you guys need to defeat every last one of the calamities before that happens. I see. Then we can't let Kernonos' curse spread any further. We need to stop his calamities while they're still contained in Britain. Exactly. The calamity burning down Britain right now is actually the great calamity that was supposed to happen 1,000 years ago. Morgan averted that calamity by passing it on to a Fang Clan fairy. Barghest, the leader of the Black Dogs. She's not the fairy you knew anymore. She's now burning all of Britain as the Black Calamity, the calamity of the beast. Barghest. This was all foreseeable. She was born the child of calamity, after all. It was Morgan who sealed that fate away by gifting her a name. She said that as long as Barghest was Gawain, she would never become a mythical hound. But even that could only go so far. Barghest was already at her limit, even without you guys defeating her. Honestly, it's impressive she lasted as long as she did. This won't be easy to hear, but you need to understand. Once you get back to the surface, you'll have to fight more than just Kernonos. Like I said, we can't afford to let the calamities leave Britain. Letting some fairies migrate to proper human history was a nice idea. Unfortunately, in Barghest's case, that was never an option. As for the other calamity, Kernonos, That one you can fight without having to feel bad or worry. His soul was shattered 14,000 years ago. Now he's just a corpse that's not quite done dying. That said, he's still a very powerful god. His flesh was grown thick enough over those millennia to rival Albion's spirit cavern. And his cursed layer is equivalent to 400 kilometers worth of geological stratum. You'll need the God of Wisdom's curse dispelling, all the fighting forces Chaldea can muster, and a divine construct made especially to combat Kernonos. Even then, you'll only just be able to scrape by. Thinking about it, you honestly may not stand a chance. And I can't help you either, since I can't leave this place. The best I could do is show you the way. Man, I was really hoping to avoid this story ending in total annihilation. So, not even you have a plan? And after we came all this way? I know, right? If only we had a Godslayer's weapon lying around somewhere. But we do. We have the perfect trump card for taking on Kernonos. In fact, it'll be a piece of cake. Really? But where is that trump card? It's Muramasa! Say what? Come on, don't you remember? You told us you could cut any god you came across. In fact, you were bragging about how you cut a gigantic one clean in half in that Olympus place. So there's no reason you can't do the same thing here. And since you didn't do anything noteworthy in Camelot, this will be your chance to clean your name. Buster FZX, piece of cake. Hey, yeah, with Muramasa on our side. Well, sure, if you really want me to. I could try to cut him down. There, see? You can do it. Just goes to show it never hurts to ask. Sheesh, you're finally letting yourself be selfish, and that's the first thing you say? I said I'd try, okay? Don't get your hopes up. Not sure how much I can do against that thing. Artoria? Master, Artoria just disappeared. Is this one of those checkpoints you mentioned, Merlin? Yep, this is the first. She's facing her own memories now. And while she's doing that, you guys will need to fight and defeat those. Ironically, all three Barghest fights were harder for me to deal with than Kernonos. Yeah, Barghest was kind of a handful. I see. We've got Avalon Wyverns. Close, but no cigar. Now come on, get your head in the game. Those are radical, abstract embodiments of Artoria's winter memories. She'll never be able to leave those memories until you defeat them. But they shouldn't pose any major threat to you now that you've come this far. Go on and give them a good thrashing. I'll fight too, of course. It's been ages since I last showed up, after all. Plus, I've been wanting to see how much stronger you and Mash have grown up close in person. Why is the Grandcaster the biggest chicken of all? Alright, Formation Limited. 2 set NPC servants, and I believe they also... yeah, Mash guest only. Cannot use Artoria Caster. I still need to get Oberon myself.
You didn't even realize I was there.
I saw you were there, but I was kind of in the flow of the storytelling, so...
Wow. That explains it then.
Alright, Abby, Voyager, and Hokusai.
So the boy, Abby, Summer Abby, and Hokusai.
Yep. Voyager, the Voyager.
So does Buster FGX know about I've hooked up to the fairies, or...
I think Buster FZX literally, like, just joined the stream. Like, this is their first time seeing the stream, so...
Okay, So story time.
Yeah.
So, I recently, so I played Avalon Le Fae, I want to say, Silver When did Part 3 drop?
I think you said it was back on the 20th?
On the 10th.
10th.
Or, I don't know. Oh, nah, he cleared the whole Lost Belt, he said. So you know just how much savagery fairies can produce.
Alright. You cleared the whole Lost Belt. Okay, so you know what's going on. Alright.
Jesus Christ, that is a lot of more.
Yeah! I thought the whole second row of enemies was introduced in Tunguska or Trom. Nope, introduced here.
You were speedrunning for Habitat? I was speedrunning because, hey, I have a life outside of this game.
I want to get Happy Trot. Happy Trot looks adorable.
Plus, much like a certain Brit we happen to know, she likes cats.
Okay, let's see.
And not only does man here have a fully charged, this is a prime sub by the way, Silver.
Wait, Prime Sub?
Yeah, prime sub.
Oh, geez. Thank you. When the best rider is actually a free 4-star. A free 4-star I think you can get from the friend point summons, no less?
From the friend point summon, yeah.
Right.
Which marks for the second time that there's a permanent 4-star in the friend pool.
Yep, the first one being Saber Lily.
Yes, sir.
But you have to clear LB6 and get the free one for her to get added to the front point summon. Makes sense. Okay.
Let us just get on that right now. Oh, that's less damage than I thought. Correct me if I'm wrong here, but I'm feeling
Let's see. Ow! Okay. Merlin took a bit of a beating there. Oh! Enough of a beating to get knocked out. Okay. Okay, that got ugly real quick. Good thing I have Voyager equipped with another max level kaleidoscope. Could you turn up the other guy? His voice is slightly staticky and kind of low. Give me a second. He's turned up max, so I guess the only thing I can do is turn down this one. There we go. Alright, let's see.
Alright, mic check, mic check. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Alright, perfect.
Alright, let's see. Let's try Mass Hysteria. See if that helps. That's a lot of defense down.
Yeah, that is quite a bit. Two of them could probably do enough damage.
Yeah, that would probably
I'll see
help.
what the boy can cook.
Deploy the boy.
Both his abbeys were accidents. He was rolling for 4-star.
Ah.
Well, I was looking to get Barghest and Morgan. I got NPC Morgan and Barghest.
I got Barghest and... Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
I got Barghest and Balbancy, but I did not get Melusine or Morgan. And I still want to get Oberon because, you know, Pretender. I need something in case for the next time I go up against an alter ego enemy. I wouldn't mind getting Morgan, but I was saving for Summer Kama. Oh, right. That's coming up next month, isn't it?
Yeah, same with Neurofest. That's been delayed to mid-August.
Oh, there we go. All the terrors kicking in.
Yeah, Streets told me about this. Well, for the back row, anyway. We're gonna need to get the boys' MP up, though.
Working on it. Let's see.
Yeah, Mans is going all in for Summer Kama. Whereas I already got everything I needed from Avalon Le Fae. No reason to try and go for more. You know?
No Abby for Arts Chain, but
free silver.
yeah.
Oh, never mind. Never mind. I saw that Voyager's MP gauge was up to 100%.
Yeah, only now it is because of the aforementioned Arts Chain. Okay.
Also, doesn't Voyager's Arts animation kind of look like the shooting star attack from Paper Mario?
Shoot, I think you're right.
Wait, no, I can't.
Shoot.
Probably gonna be on Pack Watch.
Yeah, I hate to say it. I don't think MASH is making it through. Swing by. Abby is precious.
Yep. Why does I'm thinking Castoria, well, I think she needs Choji to give her all the hugs and comfort she needs.
Yep, MASH is out. But on the plus side, Abby's MP is fully charged.
Yeah, Castoria needs a hug.
After everything that's gone on? Yeah.
Same with Pizza and all the others. Well, that aren't those savage fairies.
Alright, let's see. All things in nature. Just shy. Let's go ahead with this.
Buster? 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 Buster. Check. Time to check. I wish they go further into the joke and have the MP have something to do with pancakes.
With an NP like this, the whole going down the stairs thing, I want her to recreate Home Alone and have her like grab a toboggan and slide all the way down.
That would be both funny and adorable.
It would.
What the heck? Oh.
Hey, come on. I need one of you to tag Hokusai. And they're tagging everybody but... Go figure. Let's see. Okay. This should at least trim the cannons a little. Jeez.
Come on, Kojin.
You know who else needs more DACA? My mom!
So you're saying you need your mom to get a machine gun?
To mow down all the fairies?
Yes.
Smart ass.
And on Xeno's EES haircut.
Let's see.
I wouldn't even call it a haircut. It's like 4th quadrant zone.
Morning Lark EX, right.
Anyways, Kojin, all good. How you been, man?
Yeah, good.
How you been?
I've been not too bad.
Alright, boop, boop, boop.
Mainly because, well...
Yeah?
I just realized something with the free quest
What?
in Avalon Le Fae. I really think about it. That means I can deal with the fairies anytime I wish. So what do you say, Kojin? You make it a year-round thing?
Nice, okay.
Well, I would if I wasn't face first in Penthe's Buns of Steel.
God damn it, Kojin.
Pause.
Penthe's a girl.
I said pause. As in, that was weird. And I know.
Oh, come on, like Silver would not eat Kato Danzo's ass.
Dude.
What the hell? That just activated my fight or flight response.
You have a robot fetish, dude. Don't lie.
Dude, there are some things you don't say out loud.
Kojin, just put a socket in.
I am Horny Jail itself. What did you expect? You told me you go to Horny Jail? I am the Horny Jail.
Then at least be the warden and show some restraint.
Do I have to put XJ9 in the chat?
These are the people I have to put up with.
You have to put up with.
And
I have been cooking this fairy dunking nonsense since the beginning of this alpha damned month.
And one of those people has repeatedly clapped their cheeks with Coral Sword Dragon.
Do you have to remind me?
And also frogs. And a statue shaped like a frog.
Shut up. Just shut up.
And final countdown. Twice.
Alright, cutscene. Why do I feel so disgusted after finding them? That's not actually all that surprising. Those were Castor's most painful memories given physical form. We have no way of knowing what they are, but by defeating them, we felt some of the same feelings they inspire in her. Huh? Where did you all go? You just disappeared on me out of nowhere. I was really worried. Hey, you disappeared. We've been here fighting off weird Moors and... Now, Muramasa. All in good time. She has ablutions she need to perform to enter the site of selection, and we have obstacles to remove. We only have 3 more of these to go. Let's just take them one at a time. Whatever you have to say can wait until after we've reached the site of selection. So I don't have to do any fighting this time? Sounds good to me. Come on, let's keep going. Alright.
The Dick Wizard is back.
Yep.
The Meat Mage. The Wang Warlock. The Fuda Maker.
Alright. Keep it in your pants. Alright, cutscene.
Keep Katsudanzo in your pants, boy.
Whenever I close my eyes, this is where I'd be. It didn't matter if I was awake or asleep. I'd still be shivering from the frigid wind. Howling, howling. Wind strong enough to shatter your ears. With nothing to protect me. With nothing to protect me, my body feels cold as ice. Surrounded by pitch darkness, with nothing for warmth, and no hope of escape. That's how I grew up. For me, Britain was pure hell.
Or pure hiffle, if you're American.
The prophecy was true. She will be our salvation. She will be our absolution. She is the savior who washed up on our shore, along with the name Artoria. May you grow healthy and strong to the age of 16. May the Queen's soldiers never find you. Now go on. Hurry. Hurry, hurry, hurry! Hurry and greet your 16th birthday. We have complete faith in you, which is why you must give everything you have for us. FGO stream becomes demonetization any percent run. God damn it, Kojin. Oh, wait. Yeah, John says, yeah, being based off of something NSFW tends to have that effect. Not wrong. Anyway. A small newborn fairy washed ashore in a boat, loaded with all kinds of treasure. What an incredible stroke of luck! This girl must be the child of prophecy. What a horrible omen. If the High Queen finds out about her, we'll all be done for. The village fairies' opinions were split right down the middle, but they all agreed on what should be done. At least the child of prophecy should be useful. We'll raise her ourselves until she turns 16. But she's the fairy of paradise, right? I don't like her. I'm sure she's going to mock us. She doesn't deserve a proper house. What do humans do with creatures like that again? I know, they raise them as livestock. We can make her a lovely little stable. The other villages will never find out about her if we say we're raising a horse. We can keep the child of prophecy all for ourselves. The fairies of Tintagel treated me as a precious resource. I had almost no magical energy, which made them all worry about me. It's been 4 years since she got here, and she still has barely any magical energy. Poor thing. She may as well be a human. I can't believe she still can't do anything impressive. I'm worried. Will she be able to survive like this? I know. We need to train her. We need to be harder on her, methodical with her. We can't even give her time to sleep. Forgive us, Castor. This is all for your own good. The way you are now, you can't even dream of being the child of prophecy, and we don't have any time for dreams. We really need to have her grow at least a little. You can barely tell her apart from a human. No one will believe she's the child of prophecy like this, not even when she turns 16. Who cares if she can defeat the queen or not? All that matters is that she's valuable. It doesn't matter whether she's a real child of prophecy or not. She just has to look the part so we can get rich. Why else would we bother taking in the Fairy of Paradise? We just have to make sure she doesn't die. We don't have to worry about her running away. She's much too weak to do that. But the village fairies didn't know that my Fae eyes still worked. However much I wished I couldn't, I always saw the true feelings they kept to themselves. Deep down, they all feared and loathed me. The fairies that feared me believed in the child of prophecy with all their hearts, and worked me like a slave. The fairies that loathed me hated the Fairy of Paradise, and abused me without a second thought. Aside from that, all anyone felt for me was indifference. I was considered a precious resource, but treated like I wasn't even there. But I couldn't blame them for that. I more or less knew what my duty was. I was to bring salvation to the fairies of Britain, to free them from their suffering, and to save them in the true sense of the word. Even as a child, I understood that fulfilling my duty would mean the end of Britain as it existed now. If I were Castoria there, I'd go tell the whole story to the queen in person. Would it mean death? Maybe, but also sweet revenge. Yeah. I could deal with the slave driving, the abuse, and the disinterest, because I knew the reasons behind them. But this sound was too much to bear. Asleep or awake, there was never a time I didn't hear it. Howls of deceit, howls of self-interest, howls of selfishness, howls of envy. The sounds I could never shut out. The sounds of the fairies' true feelings. It was enough to make me lose track of where I was and where I was meant to go. I hear bells ringing. They tell me to go on a pilgrimage to save the fairies. Honestly, this sound depresses me too. I know it's supposed to be an honorable mission, but how in the world am I supposed to save fairies like that? Ha! Yeah! Die! So that's why I'm out in this nearby field again, hard at work on my training. Today's another day of close quarters combat practice with the Staff of Selection, which arrived with me on my boat as a weapon. I can't use anything like Fey Domain, so the only thing I can do with the staff is bop people. Ha! Ha! Ah! Ha! It was an early afternoon in my 6th year. I had just collapsed from exhaustion. My melee combat training was the only time I had to myself once the villager keeping an eye on me left, figuring I was so weak I wouldn't be able to escape anyway. Huh? Then just as my voice was trailing off. Ah, that was nasty. Fairies at your place are pretty horrible, you know that? Huh? Did you just talk, Staff? No, I'm not the Staff of Selection. I'm just a nosy old busybody. And I just couldn't take how awful Tintagel is anymore. Or how sickening it is to see you doing everything they tell you. I just had to say something. I swear, I wasn't planning on getting involved, but now I just don't think I have a choice. Listen up. I'm Merlin. Merlin, the Mage of Flowers. I'm going to be your teacher from... I'm going to be your teacher from now on. Don't forget it. That was how I met Merlin. Or at least, his voice coming from the Staff of Selection. That was how I began studying to be a mage. Magecraft? I know about that. Queen Morgan uses that. But what exactly is it? What exactly are you going to teach me? What do you mean? Magecraft, of course. Merlin Magecraft. Trust me, it's really something. Ooh, will it let me fly like a bird?
Magecraft is basically doing women dogs.
Will it let me fly like a bird? Like, zoom, whoosh, pachoo. Flying. You'd like to fly, huh? That's a pretty tall order for your first spell. You don't know how to fly? What are you, some kind of quack? Oh no, I can fly easily. I'm the amazing Merlin. But let's hold off on that one for now. Not even the Wind Clan can fly, after all. The sky is the dragon's domain. Only precious few upper-class fairies can go there. So for your first spell, let's start with something closer to home. Something that'll make your life easier. Tell me, is there anything you could use right now that would make you happy? Well, I guess I'd like it if nighttime was warmer. My house gets really, really cold. It even freezes over in the winter. I actually lost 2 toes last year because of that. I haven't told anyone else, though. It's too embarrassing. Got it. I'll start getting a lesson ready for you right away. Just give me 3... Just give me 2 days to find some teaching materials. Eh? Merlin taught me all sorts of spells. Heating, detection, healing, linguistics, camouflage, lockpicking, stealth attacks, explosives, obstacles. Every time I expressed interest in learning a new spell, he'd say, sorry, I can't today. You'll just have to wait until the next lesson. And then we'd make Magecraft items together. Those lessons formed the foundation of my Merlin Magecraft. Looking back on it, he must have had to change the spells a lot just so I could use them with my tiny pool of magical energy. You know, the way she refers to it specifically as Merlin Magecraft, it kind of reminds me of an old martial arts movie. You know how you go to a teacher and they teach, say, Drunken Fist or Mantis Kung Fu, but their specific style of Mantis Kung Fu, so they just tack their name onto it. Ugh. Say, why are you teaching me all this when every British fairy hates me? Because I'm not a British fairy. Sorry, just kidding. The fact is, you are the fairy of paradise, no matter what the fairies of your village think. Eventually, most fairies will come to follow you. When they do, you'll need to be the ideal... No. The kind of savior that everyone dreams of. A fantastical savior. Fantastical? That's right. You'll need to be a character straight out of a children's story. Everyone has different fantasies. Some want a strong king, some a kind king, some a scary king, and so on. Your job is to be able to be all of those things. You need to inspire hopes and dreams. Or rather, bring them all together. Everything wants something different, so a single name would only get in the way. That's why you need to be a nameless king. Someone who stands at the edge of the world rather than at its center. Hey, John, thank you for the Prime sub for 6 months. Let's see. And serves as a beacon of hope for others just by virtue of existing. Glowing starlight, shining with possibilities. That's the kind of king I'd like you to become. The kind that can inspire people from atop castle walls, no matter the time or place. Can I really be all of that? Sure you can. It might be impossible in reality, but anything's possible in fantasy. And people have always had a way of making fantasy become reality. That's why futures we thought we could only dream of eventually stop being dreams.
said Dick was a
Merlin was very talkative, and a lot of fun to be around.
Astolfo?
But that only lasted for a year. A fairy girl saw me laughing in the field and reported me to the village elder, who responded by taking away the staff of selection until I turned 16 and set out on my journey. From then on, every day was more painful than the last. That's the end of my winter memories.
Return the staff. Return the staff.
Okay, so if the original song is "The Man in Gauze," then what would this version of the song be?
I have no idea.
The Man in Flowers?
Yes.
The Man in Flowers! The Man in Flowers!
Coaching. There's something that's been bugging me.
Yeah.
Also, someone tell Pence that the village elder called her beautiful.
God damn it, man.
Someone do it now.
X was already on it. Mainly to get her off her kaput. But, think about it. Would she want her kids, your kids, to have to put up with these fairy monsters?
Yeah. I'd just tell them fairies aren't all they're cracked up to be. Alright, foreigners again.
I'm like Baggy's buns of steel.
Moving on.
Come on, John. You know you feel the same way.
Alright.
Don't lie.
Cousin, just be honest with me here. No, Cousin, this is serious. I've been asking myself this question since I cleared this lost belt. Do you think I'm doing the right thing, being counterproductive?
Yes.
You didn't even let me finish my question. You didn't even let me finish my question. I think I'm doing the right thing dealing with these fairies. I mean, counterproductive to what I was.
They kind of gave us no other choice.
I mean, I know you're all for this year-round fairy dunking as a former god of death yourself.
By the way, John and Silver, you think it was counterproductive for me to give Pente 9 children?
I don't know about counterproductive, but
Because I know Silver would have given Raiko at least twice as many.
I mean,
Bonk. Oh, not as many more this time.
yeah.
Also, Penth plus Vitch, it slaps.
Penth plus Vitch? I can see that.
Yes. Too bad you can't slap her bombs of steel because you probably break your hand. And then she'd break your face.
Yeah.
Okay. Idea for a combination. Vitch, Himiko, Super Orion.
Fritz for days.
Well, I think you got Kojin's attention on that one.
Buster.
Yes, there might be a hunch.
Buster Nation, rise up!
Well, I already have Oberon, Twin Sky of Light, and Himiko. Among a few others.
And a 6'2" muscle doggo.
and a 6'2" muscle doggo, which I ascended after I purged, after I cosmos denial that shithole lost spell.
Alright, let's see.
I still can't believe me and my corrupted John.
Why can't you believe it, Blood?
I'm proud of Mike because I'm so proud of us. I'm so proud of me and Mike.
Yada yada.
You have shown him the life, the truth, and the way. My brother, you know the way. You know the way. Silva, my brother, do you know the way?
I know the way.
And meanwhile, I'm just watching the Earthbound Immortals just completely.
We just
suddenly
get swamped by Uganda Knuckles.
Hey, Dojin, question. Hey, Dojin?
Yeah?
Here we go.
I know it's not just me and Silver that think this, but do you think, Ternanos looks like, Totoro from My Neighbor Totoro?
Yes.
Okay, good. So we're not going insane.
Yeah, I can kind of see it. Yeah. All right,
So
let's.
Silver's going insane over XJ9's ass. We're half.
Boy! It's not. Boy! Oh,
Oh my god.
This is the man whom.
Let's see.
See, when we get back to the Shiranui, come get your man.
And boom. 300% Dreamlands.
Oh yeah, that'll work. So we got Lord Camelot, Garden of Avalon, and Dreamland.
In the words of Unlimited Blade Works Abridged, Rin Tosaka, 100% maximum, no chill.
And 100% and 200% maximum health regen and MP regen.
Yeah. Hey,
I know what you think.
pretty much should do
No.
that with the lab on the way.
Oh. I thought you were talking about... You know what? Sure. Because there's a bit of an addendum that I forgot about Marisha in the first one. He's got a freaking pet lion!
You've been setting courses to SARS in Car 6, haven't you?
If she can deal with a fairy, she's good in my book.
Yep, he's simping. He's a simp.
How is that even? I do not understand your logic, Kojin.
John, all three of us are simps. You're all simps.
Oh.
I hate to say it, he's not wrong.
I know, and I hate that he's not wrong.
Alright, okay, finally time to trim the cannons.
But there's one problem.
Muscle, Nightingale, FGO. Just go look and see if it exists.
My point is, there's going to still be one more left, and there's 3 servants.
And smack her out.
I'm sure you're going to be very excited once we get to packing up barrel, Kojin. What?
Yep. Found Fate series again.
Oh, brother. What'd you cook this time, Blood?
In Fate series? Alright, let's take a look.
Huh. Not as bad as I thought.
Da 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 do 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 do. Waiting for it to load on my phone. There we go.
Kojin.
Yeah.
I'm back on starting this fairy dunking thing.
Yeah.
Do you think I made the right call?
Yeah.
Considering how, well, Morgan.
Yeah.
You're just saying that as a death gun, aren't you?
And something else in.
Oh yeah, I've seen that picture of Nightingale. I've seen a fair few people on Twitter commenting on it.
Yeah. Apparently, a lot of people have a tyrant fetish now.
Yeah.
Which is ironic considering one of John's servants is Spartacus.
All right. Moving on. We have a cutscene. This happened when I was 12 years old. So you're 12 now. You've done well to grow this far. Right. I think it's time I sent you on an errand. I'm a little worried about letting you go alone, but you are stronger now that you can use magecraft. You know where Drift Cape is, yes? There's an Earth Clan fairy living there. I'd like you to bring this to him. Just make sure you're back by nightfall. Huh? No way. Could that house be? There was no mistaking it. That lone house on the top of the cape was an iron theme park. An artisan workshop like Merlin had told me about. The kind of place at the very top of my bucket list. The kind that couldn't be found in Tintagel. It's a smithy!
I'm surprised that village elder didn't make her pick up a cupcake.
Whoa, cool! Whoa!
Sorry, that was in poor taste, guys. I'm sorry.
This is amazing! Even I don't know what I was thinking at the time. I couldn't have acted more suspicious if I tried. I probably looked like a burglar. So it was no surprise when... What are you doing here, girl? Are you trying to get your head split open? Ah! Our first meeting couldn't have gone worse. His name was Hector. He was a blacksmith of the Earth Clan. He was an eccentric who had been living on the Cape for hundreds of years, and everyone in the village feared him. He was really stubborn and kind of scary looking, but he was a true friend and never once lied to me. The leather pouch is from Tintagel. So you weren't trying to steal my iron? You were bringing me some? So you're not a burglar, huh? So this is from the Tintagel Elder. What was that? I can't hear you. Speak up. Enunciate. Louder. Hector's hearing was poor, so I had to be really loud if I wanted him to hear me. What's more, he hated fairies. Both his inner voice and his heart were dripping with pitch-black hatred. He's gonna kill me if I stay here too long. He really is gonna split my head open with that hammer. My excitement about being in a real smithy gone, I decided to leave the Elder's package and beat a hasty retreat. But then... Wait. Let me get a good look at you. You're the child of prophecy, aren't you? I see. So it's already been 12 years since Ainsel made her prophecy. Get back to your village. This is no place for a young girl. I live out in this backwater, so I don't have to see anyone. Don't you ever come here again, got it? I don't have time to deal with the child of prophecy. Yes, sir. Sorry for the intrusion! In a panic, I made my way out of his house, just avoiding the hammer he threw my way. I ran from the cape and straight back to the village. My steps were slow and plodding, with even less pep than usual. I came back.
Didn't I tell you to stay away? What are you doing here? Why didn't you listen to me?
Is every fairy with that face you actually a boar or maybe a bear?
Don't touch that! That's processed iron.
It'll give any fairy who touches it awful high... Looks like you're okay. I see. Huh.
You might look like a Wind Clan fairy, but you're actually with the Demon Boar Clan.
Of course, there is no such thing as the Demon Boar Clan.
So you're not afraid of iron or the forge, huh? What, you got an interest in them?
I see. I see.
Back again, are you? Well, I doubt anyone else in that village would want to spend time with me. Your outfit's rubbish. Nice that it has a lot of pockets, but the seams and finish are horrible.
Here, give your elder a message for me. Tell him I'll give him a discount if he sends someone to help me.
Really?
Hector, does that mean... Don't call me Hector. Just Grandpa Smithy is fine.
You'd better be here every other day to help out. Got that?
I don't know who taught you how to hold a tool, but you're doing it all wrong. You're going to hurt yourself that way.
You gotta learn the fundamentals. Can't have you dying in a shop accident and ruining my reputation. If you're really interested in learning what it takes to be a smith, I can teach you. But don't expect me to pay you. If anything, you ought to be paying me for these lessons. I'll put it all on a tab so you can pay me back when you make it big.
And so I began studying a new field in preparation for my journey as the Child of Prophecy. Hector was rough and intimidating, but he also excelled at fine craftsmanship and intricate ornamentation. A year after I started helping him, I learned that Hector was famous in certain circles as a master smith. I found out he didn't just take jobs from other villages in southwest Britain. He also occasionally got special orders from big cities like Salisbury, Oxford, and even as far off as Manchester. For example... Excuse me, is Sir Hector in? It was the first time a customer had shown up personally at Hector's workshop. I tried to give her a proper welcome so it would reflect well on Hector. Sir Hector, are you here? I'm Gawain. I sent you an order some time ago? I don't know if it was intentional or if she just couldn't hear me, but she ignored me completely.
So you're Gawain, huh? Never thought I'd see another Tom Lynn. I can see you're a strong one. You ought to be able to handle this armor then. It's all ready to go in the back room. If it fits all right, I can pack it up for you today. Give me a hand, Artoria. Make sure you don't drop it. It ain't cheap.
There's no need for that. If it fits well, I'll just wear it out.
I see. All right, come with me then. Artoria, you stay here and tidy up.
I heard the clatter of armor being put on in the back room, along with Hector and the fairy's conversation. Apparently she was an amazing upper-class Fang Clan fairy, who had been chosen to become a Tom Lynn. She was also well known in Gloucester social circles, had impeccable manners, was as strong as she was tall, and she obviously had enough money to buy the silver armor Hector had been working on for the last 4 years. For some reason, I found myself getting angry. This is fantastic work, Sir Hector. I'm grateful you were here to do it.
It was a fulfilling job. The only one I've had since I came here.
Really? I would think an artisan of your skill could easily find work anywhere. I know this is rude of me to suggest, but my own city still lacks a sizable smithy. If you think you might be amenable to moving there... Huh? What the hell is she on about? Did you hear that? It almost sounded like a bullfrog. Or maybe a night crow?
Stay out of this, you idiot. Don't you know she's a Tomlin?
But, come on, Nick. Grandpa, who the hell does she think she is, trying to persuade you to move away? I won't deny that I had something of a foul mouth by this point. I blame Merlin for that. Still, I really was pissed, so I marched up to the Tomlin and glared at her, hoping it'd make her leave. Oh, you must be Sir Ector's apprentice. I can understand how you feel. It would be sad to part ways with a trusted mentor as well. I am therefore willing to forgive this outburst. But regardless, don't talk to me again until you've grown up, son. When you're as tall as I am, it's a literal pain in the neck to talk to smaller people. Not that I imagine anyone of your size could ever even begin to understand what it's like. Ouch! And with that, the Tomlin up and left. It was clear she had forgotten all about me the moment she stopped speaking to me. Her signature on Ector's order slip didn't say Gawain. It said, Bar Guest. Some weird curse kept me from reading it, but since I can always tell when someone is lying, I could see through it. I'm gonna remember that name. You see if I don't.
Not bad. I ran out of things to teach you in only 4 years. Apprentice or not, you're a fully fledged smith now. Not much we can do about your lack of magical energy, though. How are things with the village fairies? They still believe you're the child of prophecy?
Things are the same as ever there. Half the village still doesn't believe I am. Everyone wants to send the child of prophecy on her way, though, so things more or less work out. What about you, Grandpa? Do you really think I'm the child of prophecy?
Why ask me? I couldn't care less about Tintagel. I'll go gather some sand from the beach. We need to make a lot of jewelry starting tomorrow. There's a festival coming up in the Catsif village soon. And they ordered a bunch of cheap trinkets.
Ector was very good with his hands, so in addition to weapons, armor, and household items, he also made jewelry. His workbench was always covered with different kinds of ornaments and accessories. He said they were just cheap trinkets meant to fool children, but for someone like me, who'd only ever had one outfit to call her own, they may as well have been the crown jewels. They glittered like stars in the night sky. Red, blue, green, sometimes even yellow. Apparently, I had a habit of stopping what I was doing and gazing at the barrettes that were all arrayed on the workbench. One day, on my second autumn of helping there, Ector saw me absorbed in them and said,
If you want, go ahead and take one to keep for reference. I can write it off within the margin of error.
For a smith, the margin of error refers to products that are cracked or broken in the process of making something. Of course, Ector would never make anything defective, but he was kind enough to offer me one anyway to encourage me. But thanks, but no thanks. If I brought something of my own back, they'd just take it away again. I was thrilled that he offered it to me. I wanted so much to accept it that my vision blurred with tears. But the fairies of Tintagel had proved with the Staff of Selection that I could never have anything I really cared about. Still, it did help me remember a conversation I'd had when I was younger. It was with Merlin, when I was recklessly working day and night to try and move things along as fast as I could. Man, it sucks when things that should have disappeared long ago just stick around. Like those narrow-minded fairies who keep trying to control you. Ugh, this is the worst! Everyone in Britain is so awful now. Just kidding. But if that's how you feel, Artoria, you should say so. It's okay to want what you want. You don't have to deny yourself. Now, what is it you want the most right now? Don't be embarrassed, just tell me. I want a spell that can blow an enemy to smithereens. Here, like this.
I see.
So you'll need a tool you can charge with magical energy, and a spell you can use to make gunpowder explode. This is dangerously close to magical terrorism. Then again, there's no telling when or where the black dogs might come after you. Okay, I'll try putting together a little recipe. Just give me 6 days, okay? Let's see, I think there was a smith in Norwich who was an expert in this sort of thing. You're so kind and helpful, Merlin. I bet you've been on a lot of dates, haven't you? Oh, I don't know about that. I don't really understand much about that whole love business. It's a lot like food for me. Instead of thinking about my companion, all I think about is what it tastes like. That's kind of why neither fairies nor humans ever had much love for me. But then once I was suddenly thrust into a role where I had to be romantic, and I ended up being better at it than anyone else. Honestly, I'm more unsure of what that says about me than anyone. So you don't have a single lover? Even though you're the Mage of Flowers? Aren't you lonely? Maybe. Though probably not too much, since I didn't realize it until you said something. It's not something I ever worried about. I always knew it'd be forever out of reach. That said, for me, studying magecraft, looking for a way to save Britain, finding a lover, are all basically the same. What do you mean? What I mean is, it might be lonesome to look for a star you don't know doesn't exist, but it's also kind of fun. Then, on the morning I turned 16, the village fairies all gathered in the town square and told me, "We want to see proof. Proof that you really are the child of prophecy. That blacksmith who lives on the cliff is an Imperial Guard. You're the only one he's not wary of. You're the only one he trusts. If you're truly the fairy destined to save Britain, then kill him for us. Please, please, we're so anxious. Our every day is filled with fear. So go on, prove you can protect us by taking care of him." That's the end of my autumn memories. Alright. Summer memories. Avengers, so I guess we're gonna have to deal with some bigger Moors. Let's bring up a couple of moon cancers. Here we go. Let's see. Summer Kiara. My own BB. And Jinako. Alright, a big Moors.
Oh my god!
Yep, that's a big one.
Yeah. And it looks like Anubis. And it looks like... Hello, Finian!
Alright, Brave Chain.
Yeah, Togen? Do you remember Chris's plan to scour all those duelists?
Yeah?
I think he might have been cooking something.
What's going on?
So, Chris is a big Yu-Gi-Oh! Appreciator, just like me and Coach here.
Got that?
So his genius plan was to bring in every duelist from every era of Yu-Gi-Oh! Both past and present.
Wow.
To help us with our fairy problem. And no comments worth here. He was cooking. And I mean, he was cooking.
Ow! Alright,
Well, plus side, at least it's not a berserker like those smaller Moors.
Yeah, true.
If it were, it'd be DEFCON 0 for our favorite dick wizard here. So, Kojin, I gotta ask you something.
Yeah.
How does it feel knowing that X gave you a vintage card like Brachio Radius to help you crush fairies?
Awesome.
I mean, you love dinosaurs, don't you?
Yeah.
Match that crap then.
Everyone look at what I posted in Yu-Gi-Oh!
Might as well. Might as well. Yu-Gi-Oh, you said? Oh, that was the first one I gave you, man. That was the first one I gave you, you know?
Yeah. Might explain Silver what it is?
It's a Transcendrake deck, Silver.
Ah.
Which is dinosaur.
Well, Transcendosaurus.
Semantics, bruh. And potato.
Going.
Alright. So outside of the recommended stuff, like, say, Frostosaurus and what have you, here's each of the stuff that Kojin has against the fairies. For monsters, he has the previously mentioned Frostosaurus, Skyframe Driver, Cabalzalis, two UCTs, two Xenomytheorus, Giant Rex, Miscellaneous Saurus, 3 Soul-Eating Oviraptors, Trap Chimera, Wrap Raptor, 3 Ash Blossoms, 3 Side-Frame Gear Gammas, 3 Baby Cerasauruses, 2 Pteranodons, 2 Enigma-adorned Archosaurs, as well as he's got double Evolution Pill, 3 Fossil Eggs, 3 Ground Zeno, 2 Pie of Prosperity, all by the grave, for traps, 2 Infinite Imperm. For extras, you've got...
Okay, but...
What?
Mind explaining the theme of the deck?
It's basically normal monster dinos getting in your glow-up.
And I meant like the name itself.
Dinosaur King.
Or in Japanese, Kyoryuo. In fact,
Yeah.
the name of the deck is literally Kyoryuo Dinosaur King.
And in case Kojin wants to reenact the meteor scene from 1998's Deep Impact, you've got Nibiru's A Primal Being on tap. Come on, Kojin, you know I was going to reference that film.
Here we go.
Unless you haven't seen it, in which case...
Like, I feel old.
Hey, Kojin,
Yeah?
did you or did you not see Deep Impact?
Did I what?
Deep Impact. It's a disaster movie about a meteor that's about to strike Earth.
I actually didn't see Impact.
Deep Impact.
Oh, no, I didn't.
Let's see. Boop. Boop. Boop.
Next deck.
Alright, next one on the docket. It's based off of this one's based off of Chainsaw Man, if I remember, right?
Yep.
And before you ask, yes, he had a Dark Law. He had a Dark Law because Mike is also a Tokusatsu appreciator.
Plus, Dark Law is one of the best cards in the archetype.
Well, there's that, but I'm still under the belief that that Extreme you just added Dark Law onto your arsenal because Mike is a Tokusatsu geek.
And here's one that's horribly outdated now, thanks to ban list.
Roth the Runic Dwarf. I was gonna get to that, but I was tired. But hey, just because it's outdated, Kojin, doesn't mean you can use it to deal with fairies. You follow me? You follow my logic on that one, buddy?
Yeah.
Alright, good. Good. And Drake now feels old, too.
Oof. Alright,
Now that I think about it, I also watched Dinosaur King when I was a kid. Right, I feel old.
There we go.
Yeah. Oh, and John, since you're a Godzilla fan now, I have two things to tell you.
Dude,
There's going to be a new Godzilla movie in Japan this year.
Godzilla 1, I know.
And two, there's actually a dinosaur in real life named after Godzilla. It's called Gojirosaurus.
I see. Alpha, I hope you're joking.
I'm not. Go Google it. Google Gojirosaurus.
Alright. Holy crap, you're right.
Yep.
Although me personally, I would have just brought in a single target moon cancer for that comically large Morse.
To be fair, I expected a second Morse to be there as well. I didn't expect there to be just one.
Fair excuse.
So yeah, that's my defense.
Yeah. Anyway. And in case Kojin wants to reenact Godzilla, be it Shin Godzilla, the one from 1954 et al. He's got Durogon the Mad Plane Kaiju on the docket.
Brave Chain Merlin.
Wizard.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Brave Chain. Yeah, Merlin's gonna be putting in his bit of work.
And I just saw an image in my head. Merlin using Hero Creation EX on pen.
What?
Yeah, that would work.
Moving on.
Especially on me.
Well, no,
Especially on me.
especially because, you know, Berserker, high buster damage output, decent crit rate, and like crit strength and everything. And because she's a Berserker, she would also benefit from having that max HP boost.
Yeah, because Berserkers, as you know, Kojin, are class can. Oh my alpha rock! Rat!
But
Check who let him cook, Kojin.
Ooh, good solid hit, Nash.
Nice.
I honestly don't know how Rook does it with food stuff. Like, I honestly don't know.
Yeah. By the way, I ordered some new punk cards.
Ah. Building a punk? Building a punk deck IRL now, are you?
Yes.
I guess it makes sense considering you are the biggest Japanophile out of the three of us.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you are a stat god from there, so I suppose that's to be expected that you would be a bit home.
Let's see. Boom, boom, boom.
Plus, that archetype just reminds me way too much of Jet Set Radio Future.
Well, there's that too. But yeah, Kojin?
Yeah.
I think as a dev god, you would be all for those fairies getting dunked on year-round, right?
Yeah.
How about you, Silver? After Nott's assassination on her coronation.
Yeah, I'll give you
You'd
some.
probably be all for that.
I'll give you some stress relief.
Yeah. Those fairies need to get dunked on.
That's usually Sam's line, but here's Kojin's Punk Kaiju.
Yeah.
Oh, cutscene.
More than... Do you want to have a bad time?
All right.
Then check Silver's browser history.
Jesus. All right, cutscene. Apparently, the Earth Clan fairy living on the Cape used to be one of Queen Morgan's Imperial Guards a long time ago. The village fairy's worry was genuine. They really did believe that killing Hector would help keep the village safe. So they closed in around me and begged me in all sincerity. Please, kill him. Kill him for us. If you really are the child of prophecy, then kill the Queen's agent for us. It would have been almost impossible to refuse, so like always, I took the easy way out. And so... Okay. Okay, I will. I am the child of prophecy, after all. I decided to do what they wanted of me and went off to kill my friend. This is why I said I could never have anything I really cared about. I have to kill him. 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 If I don't kill him, they'll think I'm an imposter and they'll kill me instead. It was easy to sneak in since Hector was hard of hearing. He was sleeping on his stone bed, completely defenseless. In my hand I had a rusty iron knife the fairies had given me. The truth is, it wasn't impossible to refuse. I was just scared. Scared of being called an imposter. Scared of getting beaten for being useless. Scared that my life so far might have been for nothing. And so... I got so fed up and angry that I brought the knife down as hard as I could. Oh well, maybe things will work out. I sheathed the now chipped knife and began walking the dark path back to the village. I was practically trembling with fear, but I also knew the village fairies were simple folk. I was almost strangely optimistic that I could get out of this as long as I explained everything. Don't let her fool you! She didn't kill the blacksmith! I was watching the whole time. She didn't do anything to him. She just cut off one of his helmets. And that's not all. I know her magecraft is fake too. It's all just smoke and gunpowder. She's not the child of prophecy. She's not special at all. What did she say? Is that true? She couldn't kill the Imperial Guard. She wouldn't kill one of Morgan's agents. Then she can't be the child of prophecy. I knew it didn't make sense. I tried to run away, but the village fairies were all stronger than me, and had more magical energy too. Grab Castor! Grab the liar! Hand her over to Woodwell's executioners as a child of prophecy imposter! They caught me in no time and threw me in an underground jail. The fairy who accused me was smiling so smugly, so triumphantly. But I wasn't surprised. Whenever she talked to me claiming to be my friend, she was always consumed with envy and doubt. She wasn't a bad person. It was just fairy nature. Even when you know someone is objectively worse off than you are, you just can't help but be jealous when they're treated like they're special. After that, life in the village became very hectic. Woodwell's executioners, a horrific group of soldiers who went around capturing fairies suspected of being the child of prophecy, taking them to the castle. They were to arrive in Tintagel in 3 days, and I was to wait for them in my cell until then. So you finally showed your true colors. I can't wait to hand you over to the High Queen. I never believed you were the child of prophecy. There's no way a fairy like you could be our savior. I don't want to hand you over to Woodwell's, but everyone else says that's what needs to be done with imposters. But is it really so important? It's awful that things have come to this. We were so close. So very close. But then I suppose it was always too much to hope for. This village would have disappeared the year you washed up on our shore if you hadn't come along. You and the treasure that was on your boat gave us hope, but now the treasure's all gone. Soon our village will be... Then again, if we all tell Woodwell's you're the genuine article, maybe we could still get a sizable reward. I'm sorry, Castor. I tried to talk the others out of this. I really did. I'm so sad things have turned out this way, too. You really did do your best for us. A lot of fairies came to visit me in jail, each for their own reasons. The fairies of Tintagel were divided right down the middle into supporters of the Queen and supporters of the Child of the Prophecy. The fact that I was in jail must mean that the pro-Queen fairies had gained a numbers advantage. There was no fairy left who could rescue me. But there were some who were willing to look the other way if I escaped, and I figured that was enough. Either way, everything hinged on what would happen in 3 days. I would have one last chance to escape after they let me out of jail, right before they handed me over to the executioners. I made sure to stay in shape so I could run whenever I needed to, and kept a constant eye out for opportunities. You better believe I'm going to escape. I've been training my whole life to go on this pilgrimage. I can't let it end before it even begins. Hearing commotion outside, I thought the executioners must have come, and readied myself to escape. So you're still alive? Huh. Guess not even these fairies were that stupid. Hector! What are you doing here? What happened to you? What, this? Don't worry about it. I had to beat a few fairies to get up here, but never mind that. You gotta go. Here, put this on. It's no helmet, but this hat should help protect your head and hide your face at least a little. Huh? You mean you're here to help me escape? Oh, this hat's so cute and stylish. I knew you had good taste, Hector. Stow the compliments. Here, I got this back for you. It was always yours anyway. It was the staff of selection that had been taken from me when I was a child. 9 years had gone by since I last saw it, but it still felt like an extension of my body. Though sadly, it looked like it had long since lost Merlin's flippant voice. Go on now, hurry. It won't be long before Woodwell's executioners... Hector? Don't call me by that name. It'll only bring you bad luck. I took out the guards, but there'll be new ones here soon. We need to get you out of here while it's still dark. Run as far and fast as you can. If you can make it to Salisbury's Plains. What was that? It's coming from outside. At the time,
I could only imagine that the executioners had come and set the village on fire.
I can't believe it. I knew they said they would have to cut down the number of mouths to feed for the winter. But killing each other over it? That's not just stupid, it's downright pitiful. Whoa! Panda Girl, thank you for the raid. Oh, jeez. Shoot. I do not have raid countermeasures. Oh, no. Give me a second. Ah! It was media source. I'm there. Dang it! Ah, I'll have to worry about that later. But yeah, thank you for the raid. How you guys doing? We're going through, I believe we're now in Act 3 of Lost Belt 6, so... Alright, here we are. What's going on here? Why are the fairies who called for us killing each other? Who's in charge here? Where's the child of prophecy? Please stand back, Lord Woodrose. These fairies have all gone mad. We can't question them now. What would you have us do, sir? Damned bloodthirsty fools. Baton wielders, exterminate the residents. Spear wielders, guard the exits. We can't let any of them escape now. Don't bother putting out the fires until the fairies have been dealt with. But make sure to capture any fairy who could be the child of prophecy, alive. Her Majesty's orders. No! I didn't have any particular plan. Heck, I didn't even have time to think. But just as I was about to make a run for the town square to try and rescue everyone... Stop, Artoria! You'll never make it in time! You need to get away from here, now! Besides, why would you want to help them? They were going to sell you away! I know, but... They were still the fairies I'd grown up with. They may have lied to me almost non-stop for my entire life. But that didn't mean I could just abandon them. You fool. Just come with me, damn it. They're here for the child of prophecy. Once you're gone, there won't be a reason for the executioners to be here anymore. Once we reach the cover of the forest, you can do whatever you want. Grandpa took my hand and ran. Whew. There we are. You can go the rest of the way alone. I fought some of Woodrose's soldiers on the way, so it won't be long before more show up. You need to get away from here before they do. What about you, Grandpa? I don't suppose you could come with me? No, I can't. I still have work left to do. Once I'm sure you've escaped, I'll be heading right back to my forge on the Cape, and that'll be that. You've been nothing but trouble, girl. Don't visit me again. But Hector, you're... I couldn't help it. I could see his kind-hearted lies. I could see the deep wounds to his sides, though he'd hidden with his clothes. I could see how his strong back had practically been cut to ribbons. And I could see that his failing heart would stop entirely once I took my eyes off of him. Right. You fairies of paradise really are a pain, aren't you? The village is done for. The executioners are here. Hold your head high. Grip your staff tight. Now is the time to begin your journey, Artoria. Remember, no matter what anyone says, even if you don't believe it yourself, you are the child of prophecy. You could have killed me that night, but you didn't. That's who you really are. No matter how much Britain rejects you, or how much the fairies shun you, or even how much weaker you are than them, you're still a better choice for savior than anyone else. I don't think you ever realize this yourself, but you're just not capable of getting angry for your own sake. And besides, you're the spitting image of her. Stubborn, sore loser who keeps getting back up no matter how many times she falls. That's why I know you'll see your chosen path through to the end.
No. I want to go back to the forge and live with you at the Cape. That'd be way more fun. Besides, once I turn 17, the prophecy won't be true anymore. And I won't make any more trouble for you.
But that dream would never come true. He never even heard what I wanted to say. I don't know who Grandpa was or why he did so much for me. All I know is the heartbeat I can still hear today. The sound of my own, still living heart. Right. That's right. The one thing I have going for me is my ability to quickly cheer up no matter how many times I'm brought down. I secured my new hat atop my head and gripped the staff of selection tight. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you for raising me until I turned 16. I'm the Fairy of Paradise. I'm the one who's meant to bring Britain the salvation it really needs. So I'm going to begin my pilgrimage now, just like you wanted me to. But that was easier said than done. Forget beginning my pilgrimage. I couldn't even get anyone to take me seriously. I tried to meet with the head of the Wind Clan in Salisbury, but the rebel army turned me away at the door. I tried doing a few odd jobs in response to their demands that I prove I was the child of prophecy, but... Which hole in the woods did you crawl out of? Clothes are a mess and you've got almost no magical energy. But at least you're a decent worker. Nice job taking care of the Moors on the highway. I don't know how many centuries it'll take you, but hey, good luck saving Britain. We don't need the Child of Prophecy here anyway, girlie. We have Lady Aurora looking out for us. But the fairies are waiting for the Child of Prophecy. Don't let them fool you. They're just pretending. Fairies latch onto anything that seems like fun or even just whatever's trendy. Nobody actually wants or believes in the Child of Prophecy. We'd all love it if Morgan went away, but her aside, we're happy with the way things are now. After being laughed off, I used my anger as fuel to take me from west to east and back again. Fooling myself into thinking that starting with smaller villages would yield better results than big cities, I went around the forests, visiting all kinds of places. But it was no different. Everywhere I went, people laughed at me, used me, and dropped me like so much garbage. On the surface, they were all for the Child of Prophecy, but on the inside... Isn't there anything more fun to do? Now I see. They all love rumors about the Child of Prophecy, but the actual child is just a big pain. I had no one to teach me, no companions to commiserate with. Every fairy in Britain hated me the second they laid eyes on me. Since humans had no love for fairies either, all I could do was travel alone. This is hard. Really hard. Consumed by depression, I decided to go to the Nameless Woods. I didn't have a particular plan in mind. I just wanted to be someone other than myself, even if only for a little while. But the curse of the Nameless Woods didn't even affect fairies from paradise. So much for that. So I just pretended to have lost my memory and went off to the newcomer tent to sulk. But then a new fairy was carried in. Mash? He had lost his memory and was in such bad shape, both physically and mentally, that I felt like I had to help him.
But most of all, I thought, if he's forgotten about the Child of Prophecy, maybe there's a chance we could be friends. That's the end of my summer memories. Look, I need to go cook some dinner and eat. Hope you enjoy the rest of LB6. Alright. Take it easy, Panda Girl. And thanks for the raid. Oh yeah, Hector was the night before.
Didn't read on, so to give you guys the spoiler-free version, since some of you guys aren't exactly,
this far along?
Yeah. Castoria has won the award for most broken character in this entire Lost Belt, in terms of backstory, and all fairies are savages and deserve to get dunked on.
Yep. Alright, quest has no battles. Let's go. Hector was the night before the Age of the High Queen, if I recall correctly. Oh, yeah. I'll have to double check the notes. Let's see. This is it. We're finally to the spring memories. And since they're spring, I'm sure they're going to be lots of fun. I bet any obstacles we run into here will be total pushovers. So you won't have to worry much about taking them down. I was hoping we wouldn't have to fight any more of these Moors. Me too. If those really are Artoria's memories given physical form, then I can only imagine how painful they must be for her. Even just facing them as Moors makes me feel like my heart's being gouged out of my chest. Don't worry, that's all done with now that we're past summer. Spring memories are fun times, and fun times only. The only kinds of obstacles I'd expect to see here are things like... there'll probably be Artoria herself dressed to the nines. Or an enormous feast full of delicious foods. That's all well and good, but before we start fighting, there's one thing I want to clear up. You said that the Fairy of Paradise who rings all the bells of pilgrimage becomes the sacred sword itself, right? Does that mean Artoria's going to disappear once it's done? Yes, that's right. Creating the Sacred Sword's conceptual foundation will destroy everything she was, is, and ever will be. That is the Fairy of Paradise's duty, her function, and even then, the Sacred Sword won't be easy to forge. Everything about her, every experience she's had, all her memories, even spirit origin, her very fate, will be used as materials to make it. It is not a sacrifice, it is an equivalent exchange. And it has to be her. It can't be anyone else. Does Artoria know this? Oh yes, she knows very well that fulfilling her duty means the end for her. That much should have been made clear to her from the beginning. I know how you all feel, but please understand, this really is the only way. She knew what would happen when she entered the spirit cavern. Yes, the situation may have forced her hand, but she's still heading to the site of selection of her own free will. Huh? You're all here? Artoria? Wait, you're back already? That doesn't seem right. Yeah, we still haven't fought any... I see. Well, that was easy, huh? It was literally over before I knew it. So that's the site of selection on top of that hill, huh? Okay, last one there's a rotten egg. I can't believe it. All those horrible memories, and even at the end, she... I know. It just ain't right. But you know, Silver Shinobi, if nothing else, I'm glad you're so damn pissed off about it. So look. Whatever happens next, just let the old man here handle it. Muramasa? What do you mean by... Never mind that now. Come on, we need to run or she really will go on ahead of us. Either way, this is the end of her long journey. Let's see how this mission of hers plays out. Alright, we finally made it. The site of selection. Whenever I close my eyes, this is where I'd be. Whenever I sleep, this is where I'd be. No, that's wrong. It's a lie. Whether my eyes are open or closed, whether I'm asleep or awake, this is how the world has always looked to me. The wind, the clouds, they're not really a storm. They're all people's voices. So awful to look at that I've put out my own eyes. So horrible to hear that I've plugged up my ears. But it didn't matter. Nothing banished the darkness or made the wind stop howling. This is the tainted land where I need to fulfill my duty as the Fairy of Paradise. I can't do this! I can't do this! But no one would listen, no matter how loud I screamed. Besides, the wind was blowing so fiercely I couldn't even hear myself. After everything I experienced in the village and getting to know the more fairies better, the storm only intensified. I have no idea which direction I should go or what I should even look for. I know how this sounds, but Queen Morgan was honestly kind of lucky. She wanted to make Britain into her own kingdom. It was thanks to that powerful, envy-inspiring goal of hers that she navigated this storm without losing her way. But I don't have anything like that. Not one single thing. I hate Britain. I hate fairies. I hate humans. So how could I ever see a way through this storm? No, that's not right. I could see a way. It was shown to me when I rang the bells of pilgrimage. Artoria Pendragon, King of Britain. When I heard that she was my proper human history self, I thought I was going to throw up. The ideal knight, a king who lived her whole life for others and sacrificed all she had for Britain's future. I don't want to end up like her. I could never live a life like that. But to create the sacred sword is to also determine her fate. Without the sacred sword, her life would be different. Without the sacred sword, Britain would come to a different end. Forget this. I should just give up. Yeah, that's it. After all, I'm the only one who could save her. That's what I thought to myself each and every time I heard the bells ring. But I can still see that star. I don't know what that star is. I do know it's not my dream, my goal, or something I care about. But it's always been there, ever since I was born. It may have grown small and weak at times, but it was always there, no matter how intense this storm got. I don't know where I want to go. I don't care about my duty. I just want to forget all this child of prophecy stuff. So, why? I never stopped moving forward. I didn't want to give up. I couldn't let this storm beat me. I don't get it. Why am I so obstinate? What is it that's stopping me from throwing my life away? As the Fairy of Paradise, I didn't have a spring. I didn't have much of anything. That's why I at least want to know why I couldn't just give up. I'm no queen. I'm no savior. So what brought an ordinary nobody like me so far? What did that tiny star mean for an ordinary girl like me? Is this the site of selection? The forge meant to make the sacred sword? That's right. That thing in the middle there is the furnace, the center of the universe. That's where the Fairy of Paradise is meant to go. All you have to do is stand there and the sacred sword will come into being. And not just for this lost belt either. It will also finally bestow you with the sacred sword, the one whose concept was wiped clean from your world. And it won't just be something a heroic spirit temporarily reproduces. It's a weapon capable of defeating an invader from a foreign world for the humans of this time period. Does that mean doing this will save Silver Shinobi and Mash's world? It will make the impossible possible. They will go from having no chance to having a small chance. It will? Well, that's all the more reason to do this. Britain will go back to the way it used to be, and it'll save the outside world too. What more could we ask for? But it'll also mean... Hey, what's wrong? You both look almost sick. What is it? Do you need to rest up outside? It's okay if you do. This probably won't take too long anyway. It's not that. Yes, that's right. Creating the Sacred Sword's conceptual foundation will destroy everything she was, is, and ever will be. Come on, Artoria, this is nuts. You don't have to do this. Don't be silly, Silver Shinobi. You're the one who praised me for not running away. Okay, here goes. Oh, since I won't have another chance to say this, I need to get something off my chest. I hated every minute of my life. Everything about it. Humans, fairies, Britain, my duty, everything. Fighting is terrifying. Hatred is exhausting. I would have been so much happier just living a normal life. But I knew how much saying that would disappoint everyone, so I just had to act like a good, dutiful child of prophecy. And that made our journey together a balancing act for me. A hard one. Every time I thought, well, I somehow hung on this time, but I'm sure I'll give up next time. Honestly, no one's more shocked than me that I made it this far. Forging the sacred sword means erasing Fairy Britain from existence. I'll never really love fairies or humans, but I could always see the wish they held in their hearts. Every one of the fairies was suffering inside. They all wished for salvation. Even if they're sinners. Even if they're just getting what they deserve. I can't believe they brought this on themselves. Because, hey, we're all the same. Lies of omission and outright deception are just parts of life. And even under all those lies, everyone truly wished to be saved. I swear, I really wish they'd cut that kind of stuff out. It was really hard walking this Avalon path. Sometimes I just wanted to shout, can't someone cut me some freaking slack? But looking back now, I'm glad. My life wasn't all bad after all. Until now, standing here, I didn't think there was a way I, of all people, could save this world. That someone like me could never be allowed to end their world. I mean, it's not fair to decide a world's fate when you don't even like the world, right? Right. But you're still going to do it anyway, huh? Yeah, I am. I'm going to fulfill my duty here. And the crazy thing is, even I don't know why. It's probably for some silly, selfish reason. Something no one else could ever understand. You know, I bet it's the same sort of thing that kept you from going in the Garden of Lost Will, Silver Shinobi. And the same kind of thing that made you stand firm in the face of the calamity in Norwich, Match. I'm not doing this for anyone else. I'm doing this for me. I'm not even doing it because it's right. I think I've been making my way through this storm because there's something I just can't turn my back on. My fingertips dissolve first. I can feel the contours of my entire body fading away. My memories will probably go after this. Then my sense of self. The planet's inner sea isn't stripping away all my memories at once. Like one's just as good as another. To make the sacred sword, it has to go through them carefully, so it could understand humanity in the present day. I was only ever a means to learn about them so it could shape a better, more powerful sacred sword. Good. This should make me into a good sword. A sword bright like the star I saw in that storm. Planet's light that won't ever fade into the face of the wicked. A sword that isn't me, from a place that isn't here. A sword bearing the wishes of the masses, and hope for their happiness. A sword who can hold her head high at the sight of selection, and become the saber fit to stay by your side. I'm so glad. As Castor, the Fairy of Paradise, I may not have had spring memories. But as Artoria, as myself, I have such wonderful memories of my journey. My body's gone now. By creating the sacred sword, I'll finally fulfill my duty as the Fairy of Paradise. The AVALON LE FAE. My journey as Castor will come to an end. And that's okay. I didn't come this far because I was afraid to die. Still, I just wish I could have found out what that light was. The light I've seen all my life. The light that's seen me all my life. Wanting to know what it was, being determined not to give up until I found out. It's what kept me going all this time. I thought I'd find out somewhere on my pilgrimage, but I never did. That's the one regret.
Yeah. Can't end things just yet then, can ya?
Huh? What are you doing here?
What do you mean, what am I doing here? Who the hell else is gonna forge this sword? My whole life's been about making blades and cutting through destiny and karma. I'm Senji goddamn Muramasa. Go on, move aside. You brought the iron. Now let the swordsmith do his job. So this is the planet's inner sea, and the universe's furnace, huh? Oh boy, just getting close is enough to burn you. Now that's what I'm talking about. This right here, this is a job worth doing. Thanks, Artoria. Guarding it wasn't a bad gig, but this is much more my kind of work. If I gotta say it, I'll take a searing forge over escort duty any day of the week.
No, you can't. Thank you so much, but you can't do this. It'll burn you to ash.
Fine by me. Swordsmiths, we're born to pound iron. If I could do that in the God's own domain, it's worth burning my life away. Besides, Smithy's supposed to be hot, so I ain't gonna stop pounding for nothing. Not even if my whole spirit origin burns up. There we go. It's coming along nicely. Basic shape's all set. Now we've just got to temper it. No! Stop! You can't... Huh? Ah! I'm floating! Why am I floating? Oh, that'll because I took over here. You're probably getting booted out so you don't get in the way. Alright, Child of Prophecy. See you around. Got more iron than I need for this sword, so don't need to use it all. Especially if you've still got something left to do. I could use this power for the final finishing touch, but I want you to take it for yourself. In exchange, I'm going to use this to finish the job. Since you bought my life, seems only right I pay you back with it, right? Don't be ridiculous! You've more than paid me back for that! Besides, you're from the outside world, and you're Silver Shinobi's enemy. You don't have any connection to Britain. Don't you have another job you need to do? True, I don't know how I'm gonna face the foreign god now. But hey, now I'll probably never see her again anyway. Don't worry about it. I'm doing this because it's what I want. Just like you. This was always my destiny. That said, I'm sorry I forgot to make you that beret. Artoria. Her spirit origin signal is gone. Artoria, I know the sacred sword had to be made, but did it really have to be... I know, right? They had to be able to come up with a better way. It's just so inefficient. Not to mention inhumane. But I guess it's probably too much to ask for a planet's soul. That's basically what the Inner Sea is, to think humanely. What? Sorry to keep you waiting, Silver Shinobi. Mash? This is the essence of the sacred sword. Go on. Take it. I'm sure Da Vinci and the other people at Chaldea will be able to use this as a base for a powerful offensive spell. I wish I could have given you Excalibur itself, but I'm afraid things didn't work out that way. Did Mash's shield just get bigger, or...
Looks the same size to me.
I might have just imagined it then. Hold up, what's going on? You mean, how did she come back? I'm as surprised as you are. I really thought the Forge would just be turning out a new Excalibur specifically for Chaldea's use. Hang on. Where's the ginger?
Be gone, Merlin.
I see. So there was someone who gave her a tiny reprieve. I can't believe the old man is gone. Now I see. It wasn't Artoria's spirit origin that disappeared. It was actually Muramasa. He really did protect her to the end. Yes. The heroic spirit Senji Muramasa sacrificed himself for what he believed in. The only reason I'm standing here now is because he insisted on performing the finishing touches himself. Now that the sacred sword has been delivered to the planet's inner sea, the premise behind this lost belt has been overturned. In time, it will be gently pruned away as though it never existed. But before that happens, there's something you need to do. Fairy Britain, the lost world made by the traitorous Morgan, is not part of this lost belt. As such, the calamity it created is not subject to the pruning theoretical phenomenon. It represents a threat to humanity that you must defeat yourselves. There's something different about you now, but I'm glad you're safe and sound. Welcome back, Artoria.
Thanks, Silver Shinobi. I'm back as the custodian of the sacred sword and stronger than ever. True, no matter how you slice it, you've definitely powered up. And wait, that magecraft theory. Instead of hero creation, you have sacred sword creation? No fair! How did you get a skill like that? Are you out to steal my thunder or something? Alright, Merlin, that's enough of that.
It's okay, Artoria. Just ignore this bozo.
It's too bad Foe isn't here right now. Alright. I know we both have different roles to play, so I'll take this as a win and move on. The heroic spirit protected her, and she still lives as a result. This, too, is fate. The sacred sword has been forged, and this is the moment a planet is born. The child of prophecy fulfilled her duty, aided by the foreign mage. So now it's my turn to help. I'm going to do a small-scale restoration on Britain to the way it was before things turned completely hopeless. Specifically, I'm going to turn back the clock on Kernonos. At least a little bit. Turn back the clock? You mean to before he appeared? That's right. Once Kernonos shows up and covers the land in his curse, not even the Sacred Sword's protection will be enough for you to win. So I'm going to have him go back in time by, let's say 2 hours. See, I suspected something like this might happen, so I've kept the entire pit in a dream. Once I have Kernonos wake up, it'll be as though the events of that dream, that is, everything that took place there over the last 2 hours, never happened. You did something similar in Uruk, didn't you? Indeed. It's been pretty boring waiting around here ever since I was freed from the garden, so I spent some time casting a spell on the pit. My spirit origin is practically falling apart now as a result, but oh well. Suffice to say, once I disengage my dream zone, I'll probably disappear along with it. I wish I could stick around to see how your battle goes, but sadly it doesn't look like that's going to happen. But don't worry about me. Even I felt bad about basically demanding Artoria be the only one to sacrifice everything. Sure, things didn't turn out exactly as I planned, but hey, that's why we build in margins of error. For my last trick, I'll even help you out by sending you straight to the storm border, without having to go back through the spirit cavern. When you get there, it'll be 1 hour before Kernonos shows up. And you'll have another hour after that before his curse spreads everywhere. That gives you 2 hours to settle this. But this time, you should at least have a fighting chance. Muramasa and I both gave everything we had for this. All you have to do now is the best you can. Isn't that right, Nameless King? Can I ask you to watch over Silver Shinobi and Mash for me? Of course. You take care too, Mage of Flowers. After all, this is just a shadow of Avalon, so I'm sure the real you is still imprisoned in that tower. Saw right through that too, did you? Yeah, you're definitely the Sacred Sword's guardian now. Alright then, back to dying Britain with you all. Once you overcome its twilight skies, you'll find clear blue ahead.
Clear blue or blood red, Merlin?
Good. I got them back safely. I'm glad I made it before I ran out of time. Though I just remembered I forgot to ask something. I've been following the Chaldean Stargazer's journey with my clairvoyance as much as possible. Silver Shinobi talked to himself a lot more than usual this time. I wonder what that was all about. Alright.
Well, that was a thing.
Okay, so an hour before Kernonos comes up and 2 hours before his curse covers the whole land. So I think we're at
I don't want...
Huh?
What? I don't want Totoro Alter here. I'm here to steal my thunder in my finest hour.
Alright, let's see. Yep. All right. I think now we're at a good point where we can call it. So, let me go ahead and switch over to this screen. Boop. All right, now,
Who are we gonna raise?
that is the question. Let's see. We've got quite a few choices right now.
Am I gonna message the fatal error?
Let's see, which chapter is it that we're on now? We're on an interlude. It doesn't technically have a chapter number. Let's go ahead and raid Chaldea Gurus, and we'll go ahead and raid with our default message. Our default message being, nobody expects the Shinobi Inquisition. Oop. Oh, I missed the underscore. There we go. Let's see. How's this going to go? Tomorrow, I will be at work, so no afternoon shift, but an evening shift where I can pick up where we left off here will probably be happening. Alright, let's go ahead and raid. I will see you guys later.